I don't know. What am I saying? Who are you? What's your name?
I don't know.
What do people
I don't know.
need to know?
Maybe we should go and listen to other podcasts and see how they start. Hello, welcome to Le Pod. It's a brand new podcast we're going to be putting out from down here in the basement of Le Pub twice a month. We're going to be talking to our staff, our community, local bands, local artists, and anyone we think is interesting.
Yes. Welcome to episode number 3 of Le Pod. And today's episode is another perfect podcast. It's a little bit of foreshadowing of who the guest is today. You'll know if you've ever seen him live. He first came to fame with his band Fake Problems a while back now. He's gone solo since then, done a few different things. He played Le Pub actually on his most recent solo release on the Born Hot tour, and the show was absolutely class if you weren't there. He's as funny and the show's as good and as entertaining as it is musically impressive. And I'm not just saying that, I've already had the podcast with him. I don't need to impress him anymore. He's agreed to come on it, so that is from the genuine bottom of my heart. He's also got a side project with Jeff Rosenstock called Antarctigo Vespucci, I think. Like, it's really good stuff. It's great music if you haven't listened to it yet, but we don't talk about it a huge amount in this episode because, to be honest, I can't pronounce it properly. I find it really hard, and I probably just butchered it right there, to be honest, and I didn't want to do that in front of Chris Farren himself, so go and listen to it. It's good. I recommend it. Just, it's hard to say. As usual, the conversation touches on a bunch of different areas, such as...
And then as I was getting on stage to like plug in and everything to play, he came on stage and he screamed at me. I was so nervous and felt so kind of insecure about putting myself out there as myself and my own name. And then the next thing I know, there is a big brown mass that I can't really figure out what it is, but I see that it has claws and it is on top of me.
Just before we get into it, I just wanted to say a quick thanks to everyone that's listened and liked and subscribed to the podcast so far. You are all very much appreciated, and especially that one person, whoever you are, in Madagascar listening. You're an absolute legend. If you're ever in Newport, drop in and, I don't know, we'll give you a hug or whatever you want, but you're great. Thanks. We are reopening in Le Pub on Friday the 13th, this coming Friday. I should probably say the 13th of November, 2020. I don't know when you guys will be listening to this. We will be reopening on Friday the 13th of November 2020 after this most current lockdown, and it will be our Halloween Spookfest. So come on down and join us. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing, and we hope you're there with us. Once more, before we get into it, please like, please subscribe, and if you want to do that little bit extra for those extra brownie points, head on over to ko-fi.com, spelled ko-fi.com/lepod, and chuck us a tip, and we'll love you forever. Thank you. Here is episode 3 of Le Pod with Chris Farren. Happy days. We're live.
Hi, Chris.
How are you, Chris Farren?
Hi, I'm great. How are you guys?
Yeah.
Good. Kind of. We keep trying to be good. We keep a brave face, and then this bastard pandemic keeps raising its ugly head again.
I know, right?
How are things where you are?
Oh, I live in America, so
Enough said.
it's fine if you stick around your group of people that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see anybody, but
Are you like on your own? Do you have lockdown? Do you have like people with you or what?
I'm married, so my wife I live with my wife, obviously. And then I have like a friend. I see my friend Jeff like once or twice a week. But other than that, yeah, I don't really. But I don't. That's not that different from me. At not on tour anyway.
Because I was going to say it kind of messed with your like creativity production process too much because you're like solo in every sense of the word. You do it all kind of thing.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that hasn't changed physically, but definitely mentally, it feels a little. I mean, it feels a
Never
lot
been
different. Yeah.
forced upon you before.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
I was going to say, do you have lockdown restrictions in your area, or is it just good to go?
Lockdown. I don't really know. There's like, I think most stores are open, but most of them are like, you can't go inside. Like they have like kind of set up a thing where, like, uh, you basically like tell them what you want and then they go get it and then bring it to the front.
Table service kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's like some restaurants have figured out ways of setting up outside like tables and stuff. I don't think there's any indoor restaurants, but there might be. I don't know. I'm kind of like detached from it because I'm just like I'm not going anywhere even if they say it's okay until like it's very okay,
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely strange.
So
There's
weird.
I know for sure no movie theaters are open because that would be the only thing I would be doing anyway,
Because they opened up cinemas, as we call them here. I went to one the other day, and that was
Wow.
super, super strange. Yeah, I think are they closed again now, Sam? I think they probably are, aren't they?
Yeah.
What movie?
Everything's
Yeah.
closing
What movie
down
did
from
you see?
Friday.
What movie did you see?
I saw that new Christopher Nolan one. The what's it
Tenet?
called? Tenet. Yeah.
Cool.
I loved it. Really,
Nice.
really liked it.
Cool.
My parents hated it, so it's got a 50-50 success rate so far, but I would recommend it.
Nice.
But it is exhausting. Like you have to keep your brain engaged the entire time you watch it.
Right.
But yeah. So are you a big film fan? Is that kind of getting you through lockdown or?
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of movies. Trying to just go through everything that I have always wanted to watch or like never thought I would want to watch, just anything. Like at the beginning it was like I was just watching movies like that you would otherwise have watched on a plane basically.
Right, yeah.
But now I'm trying to go through things that I like would just like I haven't watched it yet, but a good example of what I'm talking about is like I'm gonna watch The Godfather soon.
Have
Things
you never seen The Godfather?
Yeah, like stuff like that like you're like, wow, I can't believe I've never seen that.
Man, that's my favorite film of all
Really?
time. So you're in for a treat. Yeah.
And then
That
the story is that The Godfather 2 is really good, and then The Godfather 3 is very bad.
The Godfather 3 doesn't exist in my mind. That's
great.
just leave it. Don't utter its name.
Okay, cool. Great.
But yeah, that's one of the positives of lockdown, I think. Like having just infinite time to do these things. Like I'm in the same boat. Like I watched Citizen Kane for the first time in lockdown.
Right. Yeah.
Never seen that. Not hugely fussed by it, to be honest. Like I don't understand the hype.
You two are watching films, and I started roller skating.
Really?
Yeah, I took up roller skating. I bought myself a pair of roller skates.
Is it like roller skates with like 4 wheels?
Yeah,
like,
4 wheels.
Cool. Nice.
Old-fashioned ones. Yeah,
That's fun.
Yeah, got bored.
That's good
needed to
exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to upgrade to the rollerblading soon, like the inline skates ones, or is that too far?
That's not upgrading. That's a totally different sport.
Downgrading.
It's just different. No judgment.
True, no judgment. They're both equal and good.
When my wife was a teenager or like a preteen even, she was a big rollerblader, and there's like very fun like action shots of her like flying through the air with rollerblades on.
Yeah, I'm not into flying through the air. I just skate up and down in front of the river for fun.
Yeah.
I can imagine Matt Dad taking action shots though. I think he'd be good at that.
He'd try. I'm not doing any action, but he'd try and take the shots anyway. And then Photoshop me like over a bridge in the middle of the sea. Just flying through the air.
Perfect.
Flying off the edge of a pier somewhere.
Yeah. So Chris, like, I totally don't expect you to know the answer to this question, but do you remember the first time you walked through the doors of Le Pub?
I remember even before I walked through the doors, I remember arriving.
Yeah?
Okay, so I was on tour. Was it 2014?
I think so, yeah.
And it was probably November or December.
It was
2000. It was
definitely
November.
November because
Yeah,
we did
right.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. But the night before we went to the pub, I played somewhere in Scotland, and I had brought into the venue. I don't remember what the venue was, but I will never play there again. I brought into the venue a non-alcoholic beer, which is not an
Wait, so
insane thing to do.
No, it's not. Before you go on, though, you went all the way from Scotland down to South Wales at the bottom.
Yeah.
Probably.
That sounds crazy.
That tour was really weirdly rooted.
Yeah.
Do you plan your own tours or not?
That tour specifically, like I was kind of in a mode where it was like before anything was really happening for me with my solo career, and basically anything that would come up, I would just say yes to. So my friend Anthony Barlow, he hit me up and was like, "Hey, you should tour here? I'll book it for you." And I was just like, "Yes, fine, let's do it." And I said yes, and he's not a booking agent.
Yeah.
he just knows people, and for that, it was a nice, fine tour.
That's some long old scenic drives in between.
Yeah. But so yeah, we played. I played at this place in Scotland, and I brought in like a non-alcoholic beer, and I like drank it. There was no green room. I just kind of like was just hanging around, and I drank it, and I didn't. Nobody said anything to me while I was drinking it, but I guess I left like the cap like on a table or something, and the bartender found the cap, and then as I was getting on stage to like plug in and everything to play, he came on stage and he screamed at me for like
no way
2 straight minutes about bringing in outside beer.
Wow.
It was insane.
Like as you were on stage at this point, pretty
literally
much.
on stage. He screamed at me in front of like, there weren't that many people there. It was probably like 25 people there, but he like screamed at me. It was so insane. So I remember the next day pulling up to the pub, and I met Sam, and Sam was with my friend Jamie, who I did not expect to see from the Arteries. And we were like, hey, and then I was like, I asked Sam, I was like, is it okay if I bring this in? I got in trouble yesterday. And then Sam was like, what? Yeah, of course you can bring it in. It was like, and that was like,
and she screamed at you as well.
Yeah, she screamed at me as well. And that was like, that was my first experience with Sam. It was just like, oh, a nice person, thank God.
I think I actually made Chris try all of our non-alcoholic beers too. I was like, oh, you like non-alcoholic beer?
Yeah,
have this one, and this one, and this one.
Yeah, for sure.
How did that show go then in Scotland after that, after being just berated by the venue manager?
It was fine. I mean, I was like in my head the whole time and kind of rattled, but I think, the few people that were there had an okay time.
Because I've only seen you once live, and that was at the pub.
Yeah.
And like it was a sick show. A couple of things from the show. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like your performances are like it's like watching a tightrope act, because it's just you on stage.
Right.
Like you feel like this is a guy walking between skyscrapers kind of thing. It's amazing, but he could fall off at any moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel that, or do you kind of, is it just like safe for you at this point?
I think when I first started doing it the way I do it now, I felt like that, because I'm not like before I started, performing with tracks and the visuals and stuff, I
Yeah.
was never really a person that was necessarily like interested in stuff like that or knew how to do it. So
Right.
I kind of for maybe a year or so, like the first time I played at the pub, I was just acoustic, and and for a year or so I was just doing acoustic stuff, but I just didn't feel that I was entertaining people the way that I wanted to be entertaining people.
Right.
So I just started thinking more and started to try to figure out how I could change that. And so I started like first I started adding the tracks, and I kind of got comfortable doing that, and I played a few tours just like that. And then I think I saw a video of me performing, but I didn't have the sound on, and I was like, well, it looks like nothing.
It's visually lacking.
Right. So because when there's a band, it's just there's more energy when there's a band visually,
Just more
musically
motion,
and visually.
yeah.
Right. So I was like, how can I not only fill up a room with sound but also fill it up visually? And so I started messing around with like bringing projectors and video synthesizer type stuff. So that's
Yeah.
so I kind of added it, slowly, and like once I got comfortable doing one thing, I added another thing. So yeah, and I mean,
So,
it's never really gone off the rails like totally. There's been like I can think of like two or three. I can think of two specific things that have happened that were like felt to me like showstoppers, but I think the audience didn't notice. Like I played a show in
right.
Mexico where the PA throughout my set just was dying, and it kept getting quieter and quieter and quieter.
Just a slow death.
Yeah, so that to me was like I noticed that, but I think the audience was maybe they were just drunk and or very forgiving, or truly didn't notice, who knows. And then another time something on my pedal board was screwed up and my tracks kept stopping.
Oh,
And
no way.
that was very bad. But luckily it only happened at the very end of my set, and I was able to kind of like power through it and fix it for the next show. But yeah, overall it's been fine. And really like I think it looks like I'm actually doing more than I am doing.
Yeah, because it does look like you're doing a
Yeah.
lot. Like there's just
Yeah.
no room for error.
It looks insane.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like, go on.
Maybe I'm downplaying it, and I don't realize it because I'm so used to it. But like,
Too modest, too humble.
I'm just so humble. What can I say? Like the
It's
tracks,
just so perfect.
I know I'm so perfect. I mean, like the track. All I have to do is press one button. In most cases, all I have to do is press one button, and the track will just go, and I just have to play along and sing along to it. But I'm also switching between the visuals with my other foot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I don't
Already,
understand.
That's
Like I
four
get
things at the same time.
I get freaked out like thinking about like somebody like Julian Baker who kind of loops stuff with guitar like live and plays over it and stuff like that. Like I'm terrified of doing something like that.
Yeah. Gives me anxiety to think about it. Yeah. We had someone before, I can't remember his name. He played Le Pub, and he was like a looping violinist.
Oh wow.
So you play live electric violin, loop that, then he would beatbox and loop that too.
Wow.
And then he would rap over the top of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it was Mike Dennis.
Mike Dennis, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
So good.
So talented.
Yeah.
We should get him on the podcast too.
We should. Mike,
There you go.
I'm going to send this episode to you directly, and I hope that you reply to me.
Yeah.
But he's sick, yeah. But has the entertainment part of like your live show always been important? Because just for some guys, it's just not. Like they play their songs and that's them. They're happy. But has it always been important that you come and entertain people and put on a show?
I'm trying to think if it's always been important, but it is definitely the main thing that is important to me now.
Yeah.
I think when I was younger, I maybe didn't think so much about it and was a little bit more nervous to be entertaining or whatever. Like, definitely like coming from a certain type of punk scene, like it's almost like cheesy to be entertaining or something,
Yeah. Almost
um
looked down on.
right
Yeah, it's not cool.
yeah
Yeah.
You've got to be cool at all times.
right
Being cool is more important than being fun or good.
yeah
No smiles, please.
No
right.
smiles.
But I don't know, as I've gotten older and kind of examined why I do what I do, like I don't really care if people think I'm, and this is like this is a philosophy or whatever, I guess, that goes into my making music and everything as well. Like I don't I don't want people to think I'm cool or great or a great musician. I mean, that would be a nice like secondary thing, but what I want is for people to feel good or to
Yeah.
feel related to or feel seen, um when they're listening to the music. And then at the show, I want them to just feel like a catharsis or just a joy or to go away with it feeling good. Like I don't care if they go away from it thinking, wow, he's so good.
Yeah.
That
He's
again, that's
amazing.
nice. That's nice, but what I want is for them to just be like, wow, I feel great. That was fun.
And ironically, surely that's so much more punk than just desperately trying to cram yourself into these
Right.
punk
yeah.
boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah.
punk's about. Just doing things that aren't expected of you, doing things that is real and authentic to you,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I don't know, I think is being lost from punk in a lot of places at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, for sure.
But there we are.
Here we
I
are.
wanted to talk about your well, I thought it was your most recently released material, but then I saw on Twitter that Born Hot released a year ago. Was it a
Yeah,
year ago
almost
today?
exactly. October 11th, 2019. So yeah, a
So
little
a couple
over
of
a year
days ago.
ago.
I cannot believe that it's been a year since you released that album. That's
I
insane.
know. Yeah, it's been a wild little time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I introduced Ben and his sister to your music on
Yep.
a trip to Calais,
You
to the
did.
jungle, to the warehouse, and I think it was November last year.
Wow.
Like end of November, yeah.
So I decided that it was close enough to listen to the Chris Farren Christmas album,
Oh yeah,
and I had
yeah,
it on, and I had it on repeat for the entire 4 hour journey, and they were like loving it, and I was like, no, seriously, I can turn it off if you want. I've had it on like five
No.
times,
yeah.
and Ben and his sister were like, who is this guy? This is brilliant.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
great.
It's so
so yeah,
good.
that would have
Yeah.
been out. That would have been out before, so we could have found that straight away and not had to listen to the Christmas album on repeat.
Yeah.
It's genuinely like a staple Christmas album in our house now. Like it comes on
That's
Yeah.
1st of
awesome.
December. Yep. Genuinely.
Great.
What made you want to write a Christmas album? Are you a big fan of like Christmas music or what?
No, not really. I
No?
just, I mean, I think there is definitely value in a lot of Christmas music, and there's um a lot of great Christmas music. But part of it for me was it was right when it was around the time when I was doing stuff solo, but I felt really insecure and really nervous about um releasing music under my own name. So and around the same time I was also trying to figure out how to record myself and be more of a self-sufficient, self-contained thing.
Right.
Um so with those two ideas, I was like, well, if I make a Christmas record, the stakes are so low because it's such a ridiculous idea, and it can just be seen as this truly kind of like experimental thing. And so I just kind of went into it with that idea, and then I also donated all the proceeds to charity, so I was like, people
Yeah.
can't be mean to me. if this sucks, they can't be like, fuck this guy because I'm giving all the money to charity.
That's true. Covered your back.
Yeah. So that was like the impetus behind it, and I made it in like I recorded it in like June of 2013 or 14, I forget. And so I was just watching a lot of Christmas movies like in the middle of the summer, and just kind of studying Christmas music, and I was just trying to get in that vibe, but also make it as cheesy as other Christmas music, but not crossing a line that would be ridiculous. Like I wanted to make like kind of like a concept record about Christmas more than a Christmas record, but using
Right.
the sounds of Christmas music.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because
Was there
like
any part of go on?
because a lot of Christmas music, like if you listen to the lyrics, they're not that different from the lyrics that I have on my record. Like people say like, oh, these lyrics, it's like this weird, sad, dark Christmas record. I was like, it's just a Christmas record. Like if you listen to Christmas music, it's all like that.
Yeah.
So many Christmas songs are really depressing when you actually take them apart.
Yeah.
So many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just put some kind of jingle bells in the background and you got a Christmas song. Happy days.
That's right. Yeah.
As someone who's written a whole Christmas album, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Oh man, what is my favorite Christmas song?
I know I put you on the spot. I should have given you time to prepare for this.
I it's a ridiculous song, but Jingle Bell Rock is fun, and I like that song very much.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It is a classic.
I really like Away in a Manger.
Oh, nice.
That's a good song. It's like a sad little number. Yeah. And of course,
into
Mariah Carey, the ultimate, modern
Christmas
classic.
Classic.
And what's your favorite Christmas song?
I don't know. The first one that comes to mind is the Pogues one, Fairy Tale of New York.
Oh yeah, it's a good song.
I love that one. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. Although the Slade one, Merry Christmas Everyone, is up there as well, because Slade is my dad's favorite band, and he absolutely kicks off when I refer to them as the Christmas band, as everyone knows them. They're not a Christmas band. They were great. They're great outside of Merry Christmas Everyone.
Yeah,
but no, they're the Christmas band.
What about you, Sam?
I don't think I have one. I've been trying to think, and I really love all of Christmas. Like I particularly, it's weird, but it's not a Christmas song as such, but for the last 28 years in the pub, we've always played Nelly the Elephant at Christmas. So as soon as I hear Nelly the Elephant, that's it. It's Christmas. I don't know why that always ended up on the Christmas playlists in the pub, but it did. Yeah. And it's like, as soon as I hear, the Nelly the Elephant, back to a trunk, that's it. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I hear that song, then in my head, the bar is absolutely heaving. Everyone's having a great time. The tinsel's up. The lights are up. Even if I hear it in like July, it's like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not actually a Christmas song.
Right. Oh, I also really love, I think it's called Christmas Time Is Here. It's in like the Royal Tenenbaums. It's like a boys choir, like really high. Christmas time is here.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Killers have a bunch of like Christmas.
They do Christmas
songs.
albums, don't they?
They do like a Christmas song every year for like AIDS, research or something. Okay. And a lot of those songs are really good.
Fall Out Boy have an amazing Christmas song too. The You'll Shoot Your Eye Out one. It's called You'll Shoot. It's so good. It's really good. Yeah.
Haven't they done like a Christmas cover as well?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they.
But yeah, going back to what Chris said about Christmas songs being dark, the Fall Out Boy one is like literally like "You're the last thing I want to see underneath the tree," and stuff like that. And it's all about how much he hates her and he doesn't want to go home for Christmas because he has to bump into her. And it's like, they are really dark when you break them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they're at Christmas. Why are they Christmas songs? We're supposed to be happy.
Because they have jingle bells.
They still make me happy.
Because they have jingle bells in them. Everything you put a jingle bell on is Christmas. Yeah.
I feel like there hasn't been like a Christmas hit in a while now, though.
I would say since the Mariah Carey song.
Yeah, that's probably the last like proper global Christmas hit.
Yeah, I agree.
People need to up their game. I'm telling you, what's that all
Yeah.
about? Anyway, Born Hot.
Yes.
If Born Hot was a human being, what would it be like? Tell us about Born Hot, the human. Is it tell me it's hopes and dreams and fears and ambitions. What is the Born Hot human personified person?
Wow, what a question.
Because I saw that it came out a year ago. I was like, man, he's going to have all of the standard questions. Like, where did this album come from? Where did the title come from?
Right.
I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about it a little bit different.
If it was a human,
yeah,
I mean, it would be pretty much exactly me because I made the record.
And you were born hot.
Yeah, and I was born hot, of course.
You were born hot.
Yeah. I don't know. How do I even respond to that? If it was a human, I mean, its hopes and dreams would just be to give off the appearance of confidence and success, but then once you get to know that person, you realize that they're very, very insecure, and
so it's just a veneer of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely like what the point of the record title is, I think, like, and the cover and kind of like the vibe of it is just like this uber confidence, can only mean that the person underneath this is extremely insecure. And I think I think my fans and people who know me kind of got that, but it's possible that like people who aren't my fans or who have never heard of me, like you can look at that and just go like, oh, this is like a ridiculous, silly thing, which is fine with me. Like that's kind of the point,
But like the comedic elements have always been kind of pretty prominent in your songs. Like, is that surely it's intentional? Like, you want them to be like giving people a smile at least and making them laugh. Like, that's the point, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think there's not as much funny moments in my actual songs as there is just my marketing of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Because overall, my songs are pretty. I think the what I like about my songs and what I am trying to do, or what I think is interesting, is making songs that oftentimes sound very chipper and happy, but have lyrics that are in contrast to that,
Yeah. I love that. Some of my favorite songs are like that. Yeah.
I think going back to marketing, when Ant Barlow got in touch and asked me if I wanted to book a Chris Farren show, I don't actually know how, but I somehow ended up following Chris on Twitter without having ever heard of him. And I was like, yeah, I love that guy. He is the funniest fucking person I've ever seen on the internet. So the marketing,
cool.
The whole marketing of yourself thing definitely works. Because Chris,
cool.
Ant was like, I'm booking this guy called Chris Farren. And I was like, oh, yes, I'd love to. 100%.
Yeah.
He's effing hilarious. And then I got really excited.
Yeah, awesome.
So it works.
Yeah, and that was kind of a thing that was like, the marketing of myself, especially in the beginning, like it was something that was born out of, I was so nervous and felt so kind of insecure about putting myself out there as myself and my own name. And the only way that I could, kind of reconcile that and figure out how to be comfortable with it was to kind of go in the opposite way that I felt, like go overblown and be kind of like, really showy, I guess,
like your alter ego almost.
Right. Yeah.
Talking about your marketing as well, you've got 2 new songs out right now.
Yeah.
Phantom Friend and Fall in Love Tonight. Phantom Friend's been out for a little
Phantom
while.
Friend
I've heard it before.
Phantom Friend, the song we released digitally, like right before I started touring at the beginning of this year, like in January.
Okay, so it's the like the physical release of the 2 now,
Right, yeah.
right?
So I just wrote and put out Fall in Love Tonight digitally with the announce of the 7-inch. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And that's what I was going to say with the 7-inch. You're doing this thing on Twitter where if anyone gives you the proof of your of the pre-order of the 7-inch, you send them a random photo from your camera roll and an uninteresting fact about yourself, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Classic. But your uninteresting facts, they're just not uninteresting. Everyone, I'm intrigued by that. I have follow-up questions. I'm like, what does this mean? Because you said one of them was a big duffel bag of clothes that you never wear. I'm like, oh, why don't you wear them? Where is this duffel bag? What clothes? How long have they been there?
I mean, I feel like this is a normal thing. Like, doesn't everybody have like a bunch of shirts?
I've got three drawers in a chest of drawers in the spare room full of band t-shirts that I've either bought or been given that are too tatty to wear, don't fit me anymore. But I can't get rid of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Somebody played the pub and gifted me that.
Yeah, so...
Surely you're the anomaly, though. Like, everyone gives you T-shirts. Like, you get T-shirts from every band that comes in.
Yeah, but I guess...
Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm the anomaly. Maybe everyone does have this duffel bag of clothes.
I think Matt's got a massive pile of clothes he'll never wear again. We've had a discussion about getting rid of them this week.
Nice. So, Ben, you don't have any clothes that you very rarely or never wear, but don't throw out?
I don't know. I'm pretty, like, Spartan with stuff. Like, I clear things out pretty regularly.
Everyone I know
it's probably,
does.
Though.
Like, everyone I know has a lot of clothes they don't wear. I think it's you.
It's probably, at least recently, it's because my sister and my mum have set up this company where they recycle clothes. So they get either clothes from charity shops like clothes from me, and they like put cool quotes on them and stuff, and then they sell them on as they're called Enough Already, because it's enough already with fast fashion. So that's probably what it is.
So this was all a ruse so you could promote your sister and your mom's company.
I thought it was subtle. I thought I did a good job, but you saw straight through it. And what I'm getting to is, when are you going to send all your clothes to my mum and my sister?
Yeah, what's the international shipping on this duffel bag? That's Ben's main question.
Yeah.
That's true. We'll talk about it later. We'll get down to business after this.
Yeah.
And another one then, though, your taste in socks is changing, apparently.
That's right.
To what? And from what? And
I had a lot of socks that kind of had designs on them. And I'm not interested in that anymore. Like, I don't want people to, I don't want people to like my socks. I want them to have no opinion about my socks.
Just total background socks now. No foreground
Plus,
socks.
If you buy all the same socks, then they're all a pair. So if you buy 10 pairs of the same socks, when you do the washing, you haven't got to sort them into pairs. They all match.
That is true.
That's a great
So
point.
it's really easy to sort your socks into pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. That is a life hack. That was going to be a follow-up question. Are you a ruled pairer of socks? Do you have to have matching socks?
Yeah. I mean, right now I have a lot of I still have a lot of socks that are like different colors, so I have to, match them. I can't be wearing two different colors socks.
This is podcast gold, isn't it? Socks. do you pair them? Anyway, the elephant in the room. It's not really the elephant in the room, but I wanted to talk about. This is my most important question. Your hair. What inspired the shave of the hair? Because I feel like you're on like a personal vendetta against your own hair. Like, you started off just with long flowing locks, and then you went to like your previous haircut, and now it's just all gone. You're just not having it anymore.
Yeah. So I had long hair for a while, and then I grew tired of having long hair and just had a regular, standard haircut. Which I didn't even plan to do. Like, I went to a barber and was just like, can you just like, my plan going in was just like maybe just like thin it out just a little bit so it's not so crazy. But then I sat down and was like, actually, you know what? Cut it all off. And it was just kind of like on a whim.
Wait, was this is from long to like normal hair, yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then, so that was like in 2017. And then, being in the pandemic for a while, and being kind of locked down and not really having to go anywhere or play any shows or anything, I started to talk about it with my wife. My wife at one point many years ago, and has reaffirmed this, like, has always said, if you shave your head, I will divorce you.
She wanted to put that to the test. Is that what you're saying?
Well, so I kind of just, said goodbye to that idea. But then I started talking about it more, and I got my wife to agree to not divorce me if I did it. And then I convinced her to actually physically do it to me.
So she did it.
She did it. And then she was surprised that she liked it, the way I look now.
Yeah.
And I was also a little bit surprised that I didn't look too insane.
So she gave you permission even though she was not expecting to like it.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. That's love.
And then and now I look like this for now. And there's also like a thing about me that like I feel like, and there's not many more places this can go, but like every record I've put out, I have had a different haircut.
So that's what it is. You're gonna have to like start experimenting with dyes and different colors and stuff for the next ones.
I don't really want to do that, but we'll see. We'll see how it progresses.
You've started something you can't finish now.
Yeah, I know.
Was there any like regret, or are you just happy? You pleased?
I'm pleased. The only thing that I worry about, and this is, it's purely from the place of vanity, is I don't want people to think I am going bald.
Right. This is a choice.
Right. Yeah. Because as you can see, I have a beautiful hairline.
Definitely. You can see it.
A lot of hair up top plainly. There too. Yeah.
My friend had to do exactly the same thing very recently, but that was not by choice. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He was definitely well on his way to Bald Town. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fine look for a bald person to go. I mean, it's much better. To all the balding people out there, it is a much better look to go all the way gone than be visibly, trying to. You're not tricking anybody. You're not tricking anybody.
Yeah, don't cling on. Just embrace it. Yeah, I would say. And I think my friend looks a lot better as well. He does. There you go. He does. He's a bit hesitant to wear kind of Dr. Martens now, just in case he looks like a skinhead. But
yeah.
What do you agree, Sam? Balding men should not kind of cling on to what once was.
No, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get it gone. Get it gone.
That's the official Le Pod perspective.
Get it gone.
No, just
shave your head.
Unless you want to like, you really want to like go like clown. Guy, like a full like crazy looking clown person. If that's your idea, like that's your vibe, go for it.
You have to embrace it. If you're going for it, embrace it. Don't try and hide it because you're not fooling anyone.
Right, no comb overs.
Yeah, no comb overs. No pull forwards.
Right.
When you just bring these two bits forward and then the natural fringe is here and everyone sees like this bit of fringe start here, but this bit of fringe starts here. And you're like, guys, we can see it. We can see it.
What's the female equivalent of going bald? Like, what's the cosmetic kind of aging thing for females?
It must be going gray, right?
But men go gray as well.
I think it's going to sound really weird now, but I think women just age badly. Whereas men can age quite dignified and gracefully. Yeah, it's much easier for a man to be graceful in age than it is for a woman. It's like aging in a woman is judged more harshly. Like we're supposed to start like getting fillers and Botox and lip things and waxing our upper lip and doing all of this. Whereas men suddenly become like, the salt and pepper hero, the grey fox or the silver fox or whatever. And it's like, hang on a minute. I just spent £200 on hiding my age. Why do you get to be dignified in yours?
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, I just want...
Maybe that's what it is. We've decided that men look better when they stop clinging on and just age
women aren't
gracefully,
allowed.
Whereas women are so heavily encouraged to cling on. Yeah.
I just want my hair to go grey, because I'm like 30% grey now. But as soon as I get to like 60%, I'm just going to let it all out. I'm just going to have grey hair.
Yeah.
But there's just not enough of it yet. Not enough of it yet.
Yeah.
I would love to have silver hair.
I really hope I go just straight white too. Yeah, like Jimmy Page. Every time I see Jimmy Page, I'm like, man, I want hair like that. Like now, not even when I'm older, I'll have hair like that.
Yeah.
Looks sick. I wanted to talk about your art a bit, Chris. Is that something that has been taking up a lot of your time in lockdown, or is music kind of the focus?
No,
it's so good.
Oh, thank you.
It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky to have kind of, that's pretty much, I mean, there's, other things trickling in, but that's kind of like the main way I've been making money has been doing paintings.
All right.
Which is like, I would have never expected that. Like I used to do it like in between tours, like a little bit, but now I'm making like between 5 and 10 pieces a week and selling them.
A week?
So,
wow.
Yeah.
And these are like commissions. People kind of ask you for specific things. Or?
It's like half commissions and half just like right now here I'm kind of, let me see which one of these is,
because a bunch of your stuff on Instagram at the moment is like animals with cigarettes.
Yeah. This is the very beginning of one of them.
Man, world exclusive raccoon cigs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where did that come from?
I need one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
When you come back to the UK, you have to bring me one of those.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
You have to have
bring loads.
Ted smoking.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of my dog, and you can draw him smoking.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's do it up.
It'd be amazing. Where did that idea come from?
I don't know.
Not Ted smoking, animal smoking.
Yeah. When I was working on Born Hot, like I've never been an art type person. It's never been a thing. But when I was working on Born Hot, I was extremely, extremely anxious and stressed out. And recording at home, I didn't really have a way to like differentiate like the stressful day of working on the music and, transitioning out of that and just hanging out around the house. So I would start ending every day by just painting, like whatever. Like I had no like, I wouldn't go into it with any thought. I would just start painting stuff.
No specific style or anything, just going for it.
Yeah, and that would be how I would decompress and kind of transition from the work day to the, whatever. And at some point, I think I drew. I drew a photo. Like I found an old cigarette ad, and it was like a horse and a guy, like a cowboy, and the cowboy was smoking, and so I drew that, and then I just threw a cigarette into the horse's mouth as well, and I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
And then I just started doing that with other animals and like making them like look like advertisements for cigarettes. And and I just really enjoyed that, and it was like kind of a fun way to kind of learn more about art just by having one very specific idea and like just drawing all these different animals. And yeah, that's kind of how it started, and I pretty much have only been doing that. Like I haven't really had any other. I haven't been searching for another idea, but I haven't really had any other like idea that I was like, oh, I want to draw something like that.
Yeah. Because I feel like animals aren't the easiest thing to draw. Like if you're drawing people. Like people are people, you know what I mean? You've drawn one, you've drawn them all, kind of thing. But animals, they're just completely different. Is there like an entry level smoking animal for people, and then a smoking animal that people should work up towards, or are they all kind of different?
I would say the most annoying ones to draw are any type of reptile because they have scales.
Yeah.
And it just takes so long to do that. It's
what's
so
your
annoying.
medium? Is it like pencil and?
It's what I do is it's like watercolor and pen and a little bit of marker sometimes. But what I do is I will, like, say there's a commission comes in and somebody sends me a picture of their cat. So I ask for like 5 pictures of the cat, and then I choose one that I feel like would fit
work
the best.
Yeah.
And so then I load that onto my iPad, and then I trace it with just like a black, pen, and then I have just like a black and white, very simple like rendering of the shape and everything, and then I print that out, and then with like this light box here, I'll show you. Actually, can very easily show you. So I have this light box that that turns on, and then I will kind of see there's a raccoon there, but right now it's just like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's another thing like my live set. It is a lot easier than it seems like it would be for me.
You're just giving away your tricks. You should just
fine.
keep the mystery.
Yeah.
Have you ever been tempted to do like a Bob Ross style tutorial, paint along Chris Farren style?
I've kind of tried like a few different, or at least once tried to like do a thing on Instagram where I was just like painting.
Yeah.
But I could never get the angle right to make it look like I don't know, but I'll figure it out eventually.
I think it would go down well. I think people would paint along with Chris. I think would be a hit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sam's nodding. Sam, you've got one viewer at least.
Yeah.
I'd watch.
Nice.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like, what have you got planned for the rest of the day? It's only midday where you are, right?
Yeah, it's yeah. What have I got to do? I'm gonna finish these paintings. Is
that a commission, that raccoon one there?
No, these are all just stuff I'm just making to sell for later. What have I got? I've got some emails I have to send.
Oh man, fun.
I know. I want to write down some goals. I feel like I've been slipping a little bit with that, so I want to kind of recalibrate and refocus. I feel like the beginning of since the pandemic, there was a month or so where everybody was just like, oh well, I guess we'll just chill out and watch movies and do nothing and
play video games.
Yeah. And I feel like I carried that kind of too long, and I kind of I have to reacquaint myself with being like a goal-oriented person.
Right.
And like learn how to be productive in this world as opposed to just waiting for it to change.
I'm completely unqualified to say this, but I feel like you seem like quite a driven person. Like you'd have quite a good work ethic. Like do you switch off, or like you were just saying, you kind of took it too much to heart to just do nothing during lockdown? Is that how you operate?
I think I probably am more bless you. I think I probably am more ambitious and more driven than I give myself credit for. I'm just very hard on myself. So like,
right.
It's very hard for me to relax at all. But I think in general I am, but I always think I could be doing better. And I think I could be more intentional and more focused is what that's kind of what I want.
Hence the goals.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask one kind of random question before you go. It was from a few of your Wikipedia pages from like old bands and current stuff.
Right.
And basically the question is as follows: how come all your gear gets stolen on one tour and you carried on and played the shows, but then on another tour a turkey flies into your window and you have to cancel 2 shows? How does that happen? And is that true, for starters?
That is true. I mean, I think we've only had our stuff stolen one time.
Only happened once. But you managed to, well, it said what I read, that you managed to play the shows afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, usually, and especially back with that band, we were on tour with other bands and we didn't have anything, very specific. So,
right.
People let you use their guitar.
So you just plowed on through.
Yeah. In the case of the turkey flying through the windshield, it was winter and the turkey flew through our windshield like on a Friday night. Or no, Saturday. It was like a Saturday. And we were in kind of like a middle of nowhere type area. And the only place that could fix the windshield was not open till Monday morning.
Oh, I see. So it's just literally you couldn't get to the gigs.
That's right.
I thought it was just like a post-traumatic stress thing. Like this turkey just flipped you out and couldn't perform after that.
I'll tell the turkey story real quick.
Yeah, do it.
So we're driving through. I think it was either Tennessee or Mississippi. Whatever. Who cares? And there, this story is has a lot of twists and turns. So I'll tell you the full story because I
get comfortable, folks.
I feel comfortable here, and I trust you both. So the night before we had a show, and our guitar player Casey, who Sam knows,
lovely Casey.
He like went out with the other band and partied with them and got drunk, and so he decided just to ride with them to the next show. So it's just the 3 other members of Fake Problems in the van. So Derek was driving and Sean was in the passenger seat. And so we had a big van and we had a trailer. So I decided to go all the way in the back of the van and rest. Big, whatever, 18 passenger van or whatever. And as I'm back there, I'm like, you know what? I never do this, but there is so much space between me and the front seat, and it's been a long tour, and I miss my girlfriend. I've decided that, this one time maybe I would, how do you say, help please myself. And so I'm in my sleeping bag, laying on my back, facing heaven, watching things on my phone. And just at the end of that time, just towards the end, just right at the end, which for me is the best part, I hear coming from the front like a whoa, and I tense up and I'm like, oh no, I've been discovered. I'm caught.
Busted.
But then the next thing I know, I'm still laying down. The next thing I know, I hear a loud like bang, and then I see little shards of glass kind of like pouring down over me. And I'm like, oh my God, we got in a car accident. And then the next thing I know, there is a big brown mass that I can't really figure out what it is, but I see that it has claws and it is on top of me. And I'm like kicking. And I'm like kicking at it. And I kind of kick it down towards the bottom of my feet. And then it flops down under the seat. And then I kind of I lift up and I see that there is a giant hole in the middle of the windshield area. And I can see that Derek, who is driving, is kind of like looking out the hole to see where he's going and is like, stopping and pulling over. And then, stop, pull over. Sean, the person who was in the passenger seat, gets out, opens the door, and is like, Chris, we got to get out of the car. And I have to find my, pants and in the sleeping bag, and like get out, and then we're like on the side of the road. It's winter. It's like it's snowing, and we open the back of the van, the back door of the van, and underneath the seat there is just a dead turkey, like a huge turkey.
Yeah, it said what I was reading. It was a giant turkey.
Yep.
That is insane. What a nightmarish ending to your happy time.
I know. And there was like feathers. There was feathers all like lining the top of the van ceiling, and there was blood all over my sleeping bag. It was bonkers.
Word. So you were at the back of the bus, yeah?
Yeah.
And it smashed through the windscreen at the front and just flew all the way back to you.
Yeah, it like bounced over the seats, I guess. And I always think, like, if Casey was with us, would he have gotten hit by the turkey? Would he be dead? Or what?
Killed by giant turkey.
I know.
Was it dead when it got to you, yeah? When you were wrestling?
I think it was like in the throes of dying, because it was definitely moving.
Yeah.
But like in a situation, you've heard like when a chicken can get its head cut off and still run around.
Right.
Type situation.
Man, I was joking about the post-traumatic stress thing before, but that seems like a justifiable ending. That's insane.
I cannot imagine that a crazier thing will ever happen to me. And I honestly hope that that's it.
That is insane. Crazy.
I love that you called it happy time, Ben. Happy time. That's a really good way of putting it. It's Chris's happy time.
Yeah.
Happy time interrupted by giant turkey.
Yeah.
Man, crazy. I had a similar experience, nowhere near as dramatic.
Yeah.
But mine was a pigeon.
Really?
And just me and my friend driving somewhere. And we had the window open. And instead of this pigeon just flying into the windscreen, it flew through the open window, the passenger window, smacked my friend in the face.
Oh, no.
And then just crashed into the back windscreen and exploded into a poop of feathers. Just feathers everywhere as I was driving. And I was driving. I had no idea what had happened. I was just, what is going on? Just pulled over, my friend freaking out, just been slapped in the face by a flying pigeon. And that was it.
Was there like blood everywhere too, or is it just the feathers?
Blood on the back windscreen where it hit, and then it proceeded to defecate all over my back seat as well, which was really fun. So the car took a beating that day. Just feathers, blood, and poop everywhere.
Disgusting.
So I can relate.
We had a pigeon in the pub yesterday.
Really?
Billy turned up for work and there was a pigeon in the pub. No idea how he got in, but he had crapped all over the floor behind the bar, and they had to scrub it before they could open up. They were like 20 minutes late opening up, just bleaching pigeon poo. God, and he was just like sat looking at them like, hi, I live here.
Wow.
Was it one of the ones from upstairs?
No idea. Not a clue how he got in. Not a clue.
Man.
It's utterly bizarre.
Well, I'm glad we could all
There
relate.
are pigeons on the top floor, Chris, just so you know, the very top floor, the fourth floor at the pub, full of pigeons.
Wow.
We've boarded it up. You can't get up there now because it's just pigeons.
Wow.
But one of them must have come down.
Jeez.
But you can hear them. If you're there on your own, you can just hear the eerie kind of squawk
tap, tap,
of pigeons.
tap.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it.
Man.
But I'm not going to kill them. I don't know how to get rid of them humanely. I'm just going to let them live there.
Yeah.
They're not doing anyone any harm. No one else lives there. Carry on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a vegan restaurant. I can't go killing pigeons.
That's very true, yeah.
Well, I don't think we could top those stories, to be quite honest. So I think that's a great way to end this episode.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
No,
Obviously,
thanks, Chris.
I love the Le Pub so much. It's one of my favorite places to go and to play. And
Le Pub can't wait to have you back as well.
I know.
I can't wait for a time when I can come back.
I reckon we should get you back as soon as you can travel. We'll just do a Chris Farren show.
Yeah.
Screw everything else.
It'll be my first show back, and it'll be my one. It'll be the only UK show.
Yeah, we'll just fly you in. We'll pay the airfare. Fly you out again. Just one Chris Farren show.
I would love it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to let the world know? I say let the world know, like this is a global podcast. Is there anything you want Newport to know before you go? Anything to shout out?
I guess stay safe out there, and I've got a new song online, a new 7-inch. Fall in Love Tonight,
and it's great. Check it out, everyone.
Yeah, and that's it.
Awesome. Woo! Thank you so much, man.
Oh, thank
Chris,
you. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about rescheduling the Brian Fallon shows?
Well, they are rescheduled. They are scheduled.
Oh,
They're scheduled now for November 2021.
Oh, so they could still happen then.
Yeah, I mean, all the dates. It's so weird to like look at my calendar, and the next show I have is over a year from right now.
And you think that's playing it safe. You think like surely that'll happen. But
right,
who knows?
Yeah.
Because that tour is you, Brian, and Jessie Malin, isn't it?
Yes.
And we've got Jessie Malin currently scheduled for February.
Oh, really?
But that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. I've written that off.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because we can now look at maybe rescheduling Jesse for when he's over with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And if Jesse's got a day off and is coming to play La Pub, then you should come and play La Pub, and you should bring Brian Fallon, and I'll feed you all non-alcoholic beer, and we'll have the greatest night ever in Newport.
I love it. Yes.
We'll feed you whatever the hell you want.
You put that to Brian. Yeah.
I
will. Put that to Brian that he's coming to La Pub to watch you and Jesse play, and if he wants to play a song, then I wouldn't mind. Just saying.
Yeah.
We certainly wouldn't stop him.
I wouldn't stop that happening.
Yeah.
And he can bring in any beer from the outside world that he so is.
Yes.
He can bring in anything he wants except a giant turkey.
Yes. Amazing.
Sweet. Well, I hope we see you soon, face to face, and not over Zoom.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice one, man.
Bye, Chris.
Thank you once again. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Great.